Hey there, in this episode we're doing some work on the van in preparation for the next phase of our Australian road trip. But it's not all work, we also take a trip up to one of our favourite places, Woodgate Beach, for New Year's Eve. And yeah, we got a drone for Christmas. As we prepare for the next phase of our road trip, we're just doing a couple of little things to the van, couple of little mods, couple of little tidy ups. So one of the things that we're doing is we're going to paint up the wheels. What do you call that? It's not a sander.
It's wire brush. This is the best way to get all the rust and dead paint off this sort of surface. So that's still enough to do 2 coats. So that's the first one done. So the next job is replacing the support mechanism for the freshwater tank. Up until now it's held, but we've just used 4mm thick strapping, and we tried for ages to try and find these uni struts. Better still, these are in aluminium as well, so they're not going to rust. I'm going to use this jag here because the water tank's pretty full, just to take some of the weight off. You'll be able to make out this quite significant bow in these straps. And we've gone 12 months with these. They've held fine, and who's to know how long they'll continue, but it's putting unnecessary strain on the tank more importantly, so we want to obviously protect the tank from too much stretching. So that's really where we want to see the tank sitting. So we took out the old straps that we had, and in place of that installed the uni strut system. I'm really impressed actually, it's holding together nicely.
The next job that we are doing, or Nigel is doing, is he is doing a bit of a buff up of our paintwork. Now, you may be able to notice just under this window here, I'll try and get the angle right, but you can actually still see where the sticker was from the company that owned the van before us, Australian Fibre Optic Solutions. So he's just done this side, and you can't see it at all anymore. It's looking beautiful. He's done a really good job of polishing up all the paint. We're off on an adventure.
Well, we're going to Woodgate.
Woodgate's always an adventure, babe.
Can be, depending on what sort of mischief we get into.
It's currently rather rainy, but hopefully as we head north it will be less rainy. Less rain, more wind is what we want, so Nigel can get out and hopefully have a better day kiting today than he had yesterday. So you might be wondering, what do van lifers do on New Year's Eve? Well, if they're also kite surfers, they might be doing some kite repairs. It is currently 4:50 a.m. on New Year's Day, and we decided that we wanted to, for New Year's Day, watch the sunrise. 4:50 a.m. The sun comes up at 5:02. Nigel is currently on
half asleep.
3/4 asleep. He's currently on coffee duty, and we have driven down to the beach. Let's go check out this amazing sunrise. Oh God, it's raining. I'm not sure that we're going to see a sunrise this morning. Yeah, no. We are not going to see squat this morning.
Raining?
Raining.
Too funny.
There's no wind, so rather than sit around waiting for wind, that's probably not going to come. We're actually going to take a drive down onto the beach. Now, we haven't actually taken Beastie onto the beach. Well, a tiny little bit, but not seriously onto the beach yet. So this is going to be our maiden little journey onto the beach.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. Alright. If it was a Land Cruiser, not a problem, but we're talking about a long wheelbase van. And we've got quite a gnarly incline. So soft sand as well. There's a lot of things that could possibly go wrong, but we've got an air compressor, so if we do need to let the tyres down, we can do that. I've got the Max Tracks, got a shovel, so we've got some insurance built in and some time up our sleeve, so there we go.
Okay, so we're at the beach entry place, and I'm going to come down onto the beach and actually film as we go down, because as you'll see, there is a little bit of a kind of a little dip, and we're a little bit concerned about the back of the van. So the little dip is just this section here.
Right, here we go.
And we're pleased to say the van made it no problems at all. Right, Nige?
That was the dart. We're going to get out first. We're going to get out though, but
So here we go, we're now coming back off the beach, and we actually got really lucky, it got really sunny. Well done, Nige.
yeah, it was pretty badly rutted up.
Good morning. Today we're going for an adventure. We've just parked up the van. What is wrong, Nigel?
Oh, my shrapnel.
What shrapnel? So we
You can laugh. Oh.
Nigel's got a zinger in his thigh. I get one in my shoulder. We are going for a hike this morning. We're in Woodgate and we're going to do the Banksia walking track. It's a 5.4 kilometre loop. We've never done this walk before, despite the fact that we've been to Woodgate, I don't know how many times. 10 times? This should be really good. The first little part of this trail is actually paved, and we've just been having a discussion about how we think it's actually kind of cool that they do provide paved sections of some of these trails. So in 200 metres there's a boardwalk section. I don't think it's a boardwalk all the way, but this is good because it means that people with less mobility can actually get out and about and enjoy nature as well. Not just the super adventurous like us. And all of this area was really badly burned in a fire. I think it was like beginning of 2018 maybe. And we've just come to an obstacle. For all that I was saying about mobility, check this out. No prams through here. There's quite a lot of evidence of bicycles coming through here. But I gotta say, it's pretty sandy. It'd be pretty rough going. You'd want to be on a fat bike, I reckon. Listen to those cicadas.
That's nuts. Oh yeah, bit of tennis going on, both. Our seawater's still. A bit more exposed here. Oh.
See what I have to put up with. Finished the hike. That was awesome. We're back at the van and it's pretty hot, so we've just driven down to the beach. Let's go for a swim. Again, there's no wind today, so Nigel's going to do some work on the van.
Yep, some plumbing modifications to make. So I'm going to turn my attention now to finishing off the plumbing from the shower. So this thing here you can see, what I previously installed was this valve. So put a T in, and so there's the shower drain coming out. Okay, didn't used to have this. Because what we were finding was the water was kind of backing up and just wasn't draining out sufficiently. So by installing this, and then we just simply, where we can, just open this valve, and the flow now is fantastic, not a problem. But where we have to collect our shower water, we obviously have to turn that off. The water then will flow through the HEPVO valve, which has been in place ever since the original build, and then yet to install the hose that will run from that, and we're going to tee that directly into, it's pointing over there, directly into, I'm going to put a T in there, and the water is going to flow more directly into the grey water tank. Because what we were finding was the water was backing up, and the issue being that the water was then causing havoc on this HEPVO valve and actually pushing it back. So hopefully we'll fix that problem with this modification. Alright, so we've got as far as getting this HEPVO out so that I can get it off. Last few screws. So you can probably see that, if the camera can make out, that's the flow that the water should be running, and yet the bladder itself has popped through. So obviously that would suggest that the water has backed up, gone the other way, and pushed this back on itself, so that's not going to help the flow of the shower water. That should be in through there. Anyway, we'll just run some water, pop that through, put it back, and run the rest of the piping. See, that's the problem. So we physically need to push that through. There we go. So that's how it should. That's how it should be running. The HEPA valve is back on and functioning as it should be. I've attached one end of this new piece of hose. I'm just going to run down, and instead of this shower hose being teed in to where it was here from the sink, the sink's got its own flow downhill to the grey water tank, and so will the shower. And I'm going to add this T in here.
Okay, so Nigel's done a really great job with sorting out this plumbing. We're just going to do a quick test by running a bucket of water down the shower and making sure it comes out the right place underneath here.
So it's going to tee in there, but before I tee that in, we're just going to run some water and just see that it flows out as planned.
Awesome!
Alright, so the modified plumbing system's in place. So the T is down here as opposed to where it was originally. And while I'm under here, I've also taken out the probe to the grey water tank, because what happens is the probe gets covered in gunk with the inevitable build-up of the waste in there. And when that happens is, even though the tank might be empty, because these sensors are covered with muck, they'll give a false reading. So see what I've done here? We've just actually allowed slack with the cable for that very reason, because if it was neat, then I wouldn't be able to retract it. So it's a good idea to leave a bit of slack, and I just tucked that away in that hole there. So I've cleaned it. We can go ahead and put it back and screw it into position.
So you might remember from our van tour video that we have here in our monitoring station, we've got the grey water and freshwater tank monitors. So let's just check if that grey water tank monitor is registering empty now. And as you can see, the one on the left is showing red, which is telling us that the grey water is empty. The one on the right is showing one green light, so that's telling us it's just about time to fill up our freshwater tank. We've actually been up here in Woodgate. This is day 4. So we've done really well because we've had a few showers, we've been doing dishes every day, drinking water, all that sort of thing. So our water has lasted us Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and almost all of Monday as well. Time to fill up though. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to seeing you again on the next one when we will be hitting the road. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, drop us a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be notified next time a video is uploaded.